TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
2,000 years long, we will never settle. Hard days, no way, with a heavy metal. No time, no fail, won't stop here. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot. We won't stop, come on, baby, higher.
Sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it is the last dance of 2024 with the crack man himself, Mr. Bill Krackomberger, live from Vegas, live from Cape Cod for Cornflakes and Cracks, the final episode of 2024. Going to talk to Billy about the Circus Survivor. A bunch of people took the tough loss, of course, with the Colts. There's a handful left, 1 week to go. Who's playing, who's not playing, who's sitting, who needs to win and get in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. With Billy, we have no idea where it goes. We have no idea where it ends. We do have a great, great final question. And, of course, around 11:05, 11:10, Mr. Terry Smith, CEO, CFO, founder, whatever you want to say, Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. Tough loss for his Falcons, but his Georgia Bulldogs get ready for a mammoth game tomorrow. First and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play. Download that app. It's free. I promise you this. 2025 will be epic. Trust me on that. Viva Tequila Seltzer. CT Bets Austin, that team family second to none. Go try one where you purchase and enjoy adult beverages. And as I just said, Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. Terry will be here just after 11 o'clock talking about 2025, the football, the Super Bowl, what we got in store for you. And then before you know it, it's grilling season again. And for us back here on the Cape, the grill never get shut off. I just use more propane than anything. So without further ado, let's bring in the star of this show, Mr. Bill Krackomberger. Morning, Billy.
Good morning. How we doing? Let me get you on full screen here so you guys can see me here. All right. What's going on?
Oh, just getting ready. You know, back in when I had here, when I was young, this was a big, big day for us, you know, and now it's turned into amateur hour. My kids have grown. My kids have grown up. For me, the glory days was taking them. We'd go onto a pond. We'd skate all day. I'd go get Chinese food, and then we'd watch the Three Stooges marathon, and then watch the ball drop. But New Year's Eve's nothing like that, Billy.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I love good Chinese food. Back east, they have the greatest Chinese food. But yeah, that's a nice thing to do. We, you know, you said the right words. I didn't know that. I never used that term until I moved to Las Vegas, amateur hour. So this is amateur night here in Vegas. I stay real close to home. I told my buddy Nifty, who was Frank Sinatra's assistant for 16 years. He always has some great Frank Sinatra stories. As a matter of fact, I had him on my podcast. I'm going to have him on again after football season because he's remembered so many more stories about Frank. And you know, he was Frank's guy. I mean, Frank was always asking, "Where's Nifty? Where's Nifty? Where's Nifty?" You know, and he actually gave me here in my office. I have Frank Sinatra had these pair of apples that he put on his desk with his bills and his mail in the apartment in New York. They had the beautiful apartment at the Waldorf, which is I heard now is $50,000 a month for rent. By the way, but yeah, so they had a great apartment, and he had these apples, and you know, Nifty got them, and he's like, you know what, Bill, I always wanted to give these to someone. I have no family. He said, I want to give you one of these apples. Frank always fidgeted with these apples, and it's a heavy book. He put it next to his books and his bills. And so I have that here in my office now. I have a mirror that Frank Sinatra had in this hallway here. I'm a big Sinatra fan. So anyway, I'm taking him out for some sushi tonight. We're going to go. I teased him last night at dinner. Last night we went to dinner. We went to Don Vito's over at South Point, which is one of the best Italian restaurants in this town. I'm at Don Vito's. And he actually reached in his pocket last night, and I said, "No, keep your record clean. I mean, why? What are you going to do? Start bad habits now at the end of the year? All of a sudden, yeah." So I bust his balls a little bit. I'm a ball buster anyway, so that's what I do. But anyway, yeah. So that was a cool little thing last night. We did. We go to dinner. I take him to dinner once or twice a week. Great stories. I love that throwback stuff. So again, going back to tonight, New Year's. Going to play it close to the vest here and stay home and eat locally here at a sushi spot. And we and that's funny too, Jeff. I've never had sushi in my life till I moved to Vegas 22, 23 years ago. I never would eat sushi. And, you know, I think I'm not a fish person. However, some of these restaurants just do it right. They just do it right with the sauces they put and you know, I still won't eat anything fishy. However, I love sushi. I do. I love certain kinds of spicy tuna, which is a raw sushi, and I'll eat certain types of yellowtail and shrimp, but then I like the cooked stuff too, the cooked rolls and cooked things. But it's amazing how my life, just every conversation could be food. But going back to what you're saying, it's really, you understand, people tonight are people that don't normally drink. They drink a couple times a year, and here they're mixed in with your local drinkers and partiers. And listen, let them have a good time. God bless them, as long as they do it safe and responsibly. But I've done it. 20 years ago, I went to the Strip once when they closed the whole Strip down. It's really cool how they do it. All the casinos are open, of course, but there's no road traffic, and it's really cool out there. Fireworks on a lot of different casinos. It's a great time. I hope to even make it awake at midnight. So we'll see what happens.
Shout out to Amber Holly, California Wager, Howard Blindman, Eric Martin, Slim Shady himself. Thank you guys all for joining us. We can't do it without you guys. Talking sushi. If you stay in the South Point, you go in the side entrance where the race book is, and you stay to the left all the way, Billy, past the poker room. That sushi there is to die for, and they got some amazing lunch specials from on Monday through Friday from like 2 to 4 there. Keep an eye over there.
Wow, I've never had it. I know where it's at. I see it there, but I'm just a creature of habit when it comes to certain things, and I guess and I don't know why I never had it, because I can get comps there for sure. I have one of the great sports books that comps you on your sports betting, South Point. And the next shout outs to Westgate. Those two places will comp you based on your play on my card. To give you a perfect example, I didn't even know at Westgate, I went up to the counter and I had, I had no idea. I gave my card to the desk and the rewards desk, and I asked them, and I had like a couple $1,000s built up. And I had the same thing at other casinos. Doesn't get you as much. You know, I'm considered a sharp or a wise guy at Circa. So that same play, they give you, I'm comped at like a 1/10 of the rate of someone else. Though I've never asked them for a comp or anything, but I love the Circa. Boy, I tell you, you walk into that sports book, it's like, wow, when you're in there. So I'm kind of sure they would give me a comp if I asked, but who knows? You know, I'm weird though, Jeff. I hate asking people for anything. I'd rather just pay. You know, I carry cash. It ain't heavy. I'm not, I just pay. You know, I don't like asking favors for anybody because I'm afraid to know what the answer is, to be honest with you. And I do favors for everybody, so I try to anyway. But I really don't like asking anyone for any favors, and I would never ask for something that I didn't deserve. I give them a lot of press because they deserve a lot of press. So if they want to, you know, give me throw me something back, great. If they don't, that's great too. No big deal. I love to be able to have a sports book in town that books me. God only knows I'm not allowed to play at some. You know, throwing off the apps at multiple sports books here in town and limited to peanuts at other ones. So it's tough. You know, it's tough. You have to beard in. You have to get beards, and it's something that the sports books don't realize, or they don't care to realize, or they think we don't go through the trouble anyway. I'm going to get in anyway. Why not let me play under my name? I'm gonna play anyway. Just that you have to figure out who's betting you now. That someone sharp's betting you. So, and that's that.
Billy, let me ask you this. I mean, the writing's on the wall. Where tomorrow is our 10-year anniversary of public service. We debuted East Coast Sports Investors on social media January 1st, 2015, light years before PASPA. We always used the word investing. We never used the word gambling. We said, very comically, we like to take the G out of gambling and put the $1,000 in your pocket there, as you would understand what the G stood for. And we were the trolls for 18 months. Well, who are you? Blah, 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 blah. You know, listen, if you can invest in the stock market, Bitcoin, you can be a day trader. You can make money in sports wagering. And you know, we're getting to 2025 now. The writing's on the wall. If your name is not DraftKings, FanDuel, and whoever that third one standing is, it doesn't matter if a state offers 12 licenses or 5 licenses. If you're not in the top 3, you're getting plankton, and these guys are getting squeezed out here. What do you see in 2025 here, Billy?
No, you're absolutely right. It's very good. It's DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, and Caesars. And the rest of them have, unfortunately, it's far and few in between. They get all the press. They get all the, they have the money, the marketing money to put behind the ads. And the kids love the actors and celebrities and athletes that they use for advertisement. So that's where they choose to go. And, there was 20-some sport, 25 of them in New Jersey when New Jersey was the first state to allow these companies in. And there's still a lot. There's still like 17, but 8 of them have closed or sold out or closed down to the state. But yeah, it's hard to break into this field past all these things unless you're one of the Indian gaming companies like the Hard Rock in Florida. They have it down there. DraftKings and FanDuel not allowed in down there. Just those guys right now. So they're getting all the money. And, I actually like it down there. I go down there, and at some point I'll be down there in the winter time to visit my brother, and I'll go down to Hard Rock in Tampa and Hard Rock in Hollywood. Both of them, I have some pretty good connections down there. Get to play a little bit there at the sports book, and I love Florida. Actually, it's great, but it's always packed now. What a difference from even when my brother moved down there 8 years ago. What a difference in the traffic and stuff. It's just so crazy. Las Vegas is the #1 worst place I've ever seen people driving. I've been all over the country, lived all over the country. I've never seen, worse drivers, and there's not worse traffic. There's worse traffic in other places. It's getting bad here, but maybe South Florida, 95 South, when you go from West Palm down to like Hollandale and Miami, that road there, probably the most ridiculous, craziest drivers in the world that I have seen anyway. But here in Vegas is a real close second, I would say. Even though I said first before, it's a real close second to that. But yeah, but I do love it down there. They have lots of little bonuses and stuff. First time sign up, those little mom and pop casinos I call that down there. They have some good deals sometimes. But to go back to original thing before we close off this subject on New Year's, just be safe and responsible out there because lots of people aren't tonight. So that's really, I just want to get that message out to people. I have that instilled in me. I'm so old school. Again, I throw that word around pretty loosely because really not old enough to be old school, but that's just the way my thought process is. I really don't. I say I really don't because I really don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do any drugs. I'm not trying to say I live a perfect life. I eat like I'm going to the chair sometimes. But as far as yeah, what's your last meal? Oh, that was Tuesday. That was the last meal, and then Wednesday, and then yeah, that's crazy. But.
Hey, Billy, you wake up this morning, last day of 2024. I saw someone post a tweet on Twitter. It was kind of funny. Last day to try to win all your money back you lost in 2024. There's a handful of, I call glorified exhibition games, which is now the bowl games. There is one of the Final Four tonight, which is going to be a great game. And then we have 3 of the Final Four again tomorrow. I mean, New Year's Day for me back in the day, Billy, 11 a.m. there was a kickoff. You always watched the Rose Bowl parade. Then there'd be a bowl game at 1 o'clock from Florida. And then Keith Jackson would come on for the granddaddy of them all in the Rose Bowl. And then at 8 and 8:30 was the Sugar Bowl and the Orange Bowl. Now it's the Potato Chip Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl, the Toilet Bowl. But people see them on TV. Like Alabama opens up 6-point favorites, now 18. I mean, who's Michigan playing? Their intramural team? But people see moves like that. I got to go bet Alabama. Can you tell them to pump the brakes and really what they're betting into, Billy?
Well, these lines on these bowl games are like NFL games. Very hard to beat the sides because they've been up for a while. And, every media source has their eyes on these sides, on these games. So the bookmaker they have a good grasp on a lot of these sides now, especially day of the game. It's just as hard beating a bowl game, betting a day of the game, as it is betting an NFL game day of the game. That's not to say I don't bet these now. Once in a while, I will put a bet on them. Matter of fact, yesterday I actually bet over Baylor LSU. I even sent it out. So I did bet one of the games, the total and the over. I think it's going to fly over, even the number that it is now. I think it's going to fly over. But it doesn't mean I'm going to bet outside my 2% of bankroll. When people hear Bill Krackomberger says they bet something, they rush to bet 50% of their money on it. It's crazy. But it's funny. I have a guy on my podcast, Randy McKay, real sharp NFL guy that I've known for 20 years, and I recommend people to, if they want to bet NFL, we literally film early in the week and we go on, a couple of days for the next few days. People can get those lines that Randy says. I mean, if you want to bet something that you're so forced to bet an NFL side or a college football side, but yeah, they're really hard. The bowl games, they're not easy. It's not like it's a college football day where there's 75 games and the bookmaker can easily screw up lines because they have those FCS games and the FBS games. That's the markets I choose to attack, the smaller schools that don't have a lot of eyeballs on it, and the lines come up literally on Saturdays. The lines would come up on Saturday for those type of games. That's what I want. I want something that's pretty unique, and all the sports books copy their lines. The originating sportsbook cannot get the line right on all those type of games. And let me just face it, we have a better line. And I say we. My group, there's couple other groups that are syndicate, sharp sports betting syndicate groups. We have a better line than the sportsbook. The rest we're not betting. And that's the reason why we're feared, reason why we get thrown out of places just for using our brain. Nothing else. They throw us out because, I'm going to bet all the sports books at the same time. So therefore, the line, there's 3 of us guys that split them. So when I go to make a bet, I have to bet a lot of money to make it worthwhile. Like people don't realize that. People say, wow, you bet thousands of dollars. Oh my God. If I have a 2% edge or I'll use 3, a 3% edge, That means every $1,000 I bet, I have $30 of profit. Now I have to split that 3 ways. So just think about 30 grocery dollars. I can't even get a hamburger for $10. I mean, but literally, so that's why I have to bet the amounts I bet, because the ROI to me is around 3%. So in order to make it worthwhile and to make a living gambling, I have to bet tens of thousands on games, college games, and listen, it's not to say that I won't bet a pro game. Living here in Vegas, I like there was 14 everywhere. One of the sports books had 14 and a half on the Bills game recently. New England. I had New England. They had 14 and a half. I threw a little bit on it, just because on GP, on general principle, everyone's 14. They have 14 and a half. There was 13 and a halves out there, but the local Square sports book had so much money on these favorites. But that same thing happened last night. BetMGM, they put up plus 4.5 on San Fran when there was 3.5s everywhere, and it didn't work out for me. I lost that game. I didn't give it out to anyone, but I did lose the game, only because we have that low-hanging fruit here in Vegas. And every weekend I'll bet 2 or 3 of them, and at the end of the year it does turn in my favor because of these extra half points around the key numbers. I'm not betting something because it's 1.5 here and it's 1 everywhere, or 2.5. I'm betting around the 3, around the 7, maybe the 10 and 4. I'm betting around the key numbers, trying to steal an extra half a point here and there.
Billy, we got week 18 in the NFL. Some teams that, are now jockeying, the Jedi mind tricks. Why win when you can get a better draft pick? I mean, my New England Patriots, I call them mine. They're not mine, trust me. Why would you even think about winning here? Because you got the number 1 pick, and which they'll trade down if they end up losing to the Bills, who Josh Allen said is gonna start, but he might play 1 or 2
He's
series.
only gonna play 1 series, just 1.
Yeah, and I'm hearing some rumblings. Drake May got initially they thought concussed last week. We could be starting Joe Milton, so it's going to be who wants to actually try and win this game. But you get into 18 like Denver, 9.5-point favorites against the Chiefs. And then the mind says Denver wins and in. And why in holy hell would the Chiefs want to beat Denver? Because then if the Jets beat Miami and the Bengals beat the Steelers, the Bengals are in. No one wants to see Joe Burrow here. So my point here, Bill, is you start to play the mind games versus the actual numbers. And it's so hard when I say the logo and the name on the back of the shirt are meaningless. It's all about the numbers. Can you explain that to the general public, Bill?
Yeah, I'm going to now. Am I still on when I reduce that screen? Can you hear me verbally at least?
We hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I just want to see the current lines this morning, because I couldn't believe one of the line moves yesterday. Cincinnati, and I mean, obviously, did they move it finally? Okay, good. The screen finally moved it. Cincinnati, Baltimore, 5 p.m. window here in Vegas, 8 p.m. Saturday night, January 4th. I did not expect this line to go the other way. So it was 2.5 for a bit, went to 3, now down to 1.5. Boy, I tell you, I think there's 2 teams going in 2 directions there. I actually like Cincinnati, and I hate to give anyone a side, but I like Cincinnati. And here at the South Point, -1, I may grab that when we're off air. But yeah, I just certain games. There's certain games here that actually surprise me. Some of these lines, I actually am involved in 2 of them right now. Miami too. That line went the other way. I see. Yep. Miami versus the Jets. Miami down to 1. They were also 2.5. So there's 2 sides that I lean to there. The Buffalo game, I have to root for Buffalo in that particular game, Jeff, because I have under season wins. I have under 3.5 plus 3-1 on New England. And I maybe even thinking of a little hedge there. I usually don't hedge, but it's such a large bet that I may actually hedge it because it's getting back a lot of money. I bet 5 to win 15,000 down at Circa. It's still in my account. So I may hedge a little bit there, but I'm lucky to even be in a situation here. New England was at one point they were up to 5 wins over under in progress season wins, but So I may do that, but I like to bet a lot of props this week, player props. I'll tell you why. Week 1 and week 18, probably the best 2 weeks to bet player props. You just have to know the incentives of the team, not only monetary individual incentives, but incentives of the team. Do they want to win? Do they just want to go home and call it a year, don't get no one hurt? There's a lot of different player props that I maybe I haven't really looked into it too deep, but I'll be betting probably some under on a couple guys, but I may bet some overs too. I mean, it's going to be common sense that maybe Barkley, he has an incentive to go over 100 and I think 101 yards. I was reading, but that will be baked into the line. Everyone's betting over, so you look for your lowest number there. You look to see what kind of money is involved too. Geno Smith has a $4 million bonus. $4 million, the biggest of everyone. There's like incentives for a couple 100,000, $500,000. Geno Smith's got one for $4 million. So I'm going to look into that $4 million bonus there. I don't know if for completions, that game. Let me just look at that game again, because that was a weird number after the game the other night after Atlanta lost. Yep, yeah. Seattle's a 3-point favorite. I just wanted to see if they go up to a 3-point favorite, but yeah. So there's some situations where there's some opportunities in week 18. Like I said here, it's real simple. Just follow social media, follow it's work. I shouldn't say it's simple. It's a lot of work. You want to follow the beat reporters. I talk about that, the local reporters to talk about what's going on in the locker rooms and what's going on with the individuals. Do they want to play? Do they want to be here or not? Luckily enough, I have a guy that's all he does is read. It scours everything and reads and just gives me the plays and tells me when to go.
Billy, we got a couple seconds. We have the final question of 2024, and it's a great one. It is a great one. You're in Vegas. I'm back east. Best burger joints. Where is your go-to to get a big-time burger in Vegas?
It's not In-N-Out. I have buddies that fly here, and they can't wait to go to In-N-Out Burger. I just think the fries are so bland. The burger's a fresh burger. It's okay. It's okay, but it's not. It's definitely not in my top 5. That's for sure. We have these new things now across. Of course, all the big cities probably have it. It's called a smash burger, where they actually take the burger and smash the onions or smash it and lock in the flavor. One of the chefs, I don't know who came up with that idea, but it actually works. So we have some local bars here in town, which I don't really like to go. If there's smoke, I won't go. I go to the non-smoking area, or I just don't go. So we have a place called Distill. It's a local bar. There's one behind South Point on Decatur. They have a great hamburger. By the way, Distill has locations all over the city. So that's one place. We have local butchers here. There's not a lot of butchers. When we grew up, Jeff, I grew up, in a town that had many butchers in the area. There was a butcher. There was always butchers there. We had a Hungarian and a Polish butcher. That's gone. There's no more butchers like that anywhere locally. Anyway, that I used to love having the fresh meats and fresh burgers too. So we have a couple local butchers. One's called Featherblade here in town, and one's called the Butcher Block. There's multiple locations. Boy, I've had the burger at both places. They have a little section of the butcher where you can actually sit down and get served. Boy, there's nothing like a fresh meat butcher burger, and I've been to both of them. Fantastic. Peter Luger's and Joe's Stone Crab at the Forum Shops. Peter Luger's at Caesars. They both have a good burger. Go to the bar there. They have a fantastic burger. Let me just give you another local one. Someone turned me on to this, so I went with them. Not my kind of joint normally. It's a real local bar, not the best area, but it's okay though. It's a Hard Hat Lounge on Industrial. It's like right behind the Stratosphere. So if you don't mind being in war-torn Iraq, it's just not that bad. Right behind there, and it's a really good burger. They smash on the grill, and oh man, they make these little potato tots. It's a really good place. I've been there twice. Fantastic. Let's see, did I miss any? Oh, there's a Capon's inside Fountain Blue. That's a good. It's almost like a fast food, but it's a good burger. Chef Capon. I've been to that burger. There's one that's up. Oh boy, something Hills, Centennial Hills. This is a one you can't get into right now. So you have to wait some time. People are waiting outside every day. It's called With Love Always. It's a smash burger. Fantastic, though. I've had it once. People trying to it's hard to get in. Someone brought me a to-go one there. And that was a good one too. So there's some local burger joints. Everyone have a safe, happy, healthy 2025. Imagine 2025. It seemed like it was just a couple of years ago we were worried about that whatever they called it in 2000. We were worried about the computers going down, like N1K or something. Everyone was so scared about that. That was 25 years ago. My God, where did the time go? That's why make sure you tell your loved ones you love them. Make sure you're with your family and friends and enjoy. And I just told Jeff when we were off air, we're going to more funerals than weddings as we get older.
Billy, we know you're a busy guy, and we moved Monday to Tuesday due to modern day technology. Obviously, we'll be back next Monday, 2025. As we always close here, I see your Fox Sports Radio banner behind you. I will be on at 5 a.m. back east with Bernie Fratto talking the last second about Bill Belichick. I was on Monday with him, and then we're going to go over the 3 bowl games. But I want you to tell the world where they can find all your work, your website, your app, and what your schedule looks like this week.
Fox Sports Radio, countdown to kickoff every Sunday, 7 to 10 a.m. Vegas time. That's 10 to 1 East Coast time. Also, I'm on Twitter at Bill Krackomberger, as you guys can see there. And I also do my own podcast every week, which you could find on YouTube under Crack Wins. My app, Crack Wins, site crackwins.com. I also do VSiN on Thursdays. And I got to be blunt with you, Jeff. I am so glad football's coming to an end. I've had too many media commitments, doing about 13 shows a week. I did Bernie's show the same night you did it Monday night. I'm doing a hit tonight on Fox Sports Radio. I go on a lot of their shows. I don't mind doing them, but next year I definitely have to cut some of these early morning ones. I do some at 5:30 in the morning. It's just, you set your alarm for 5 a.m. to do a 5:30 hit. It's real tough. I've been doing that every week. Yeah, but I say it's real tough. God bless the situation I'm in. A street kid from back east, little or no education, street smarts, common sense, decision-making skills, just as important as any college degree, I feel. I'm blessed. I'm totally blessed to be able to make a living betting sports. But not only that, even if I didn't have the sports betting, I can make a living in the space. I'm really lucky that everyone's searching, and companies are pulling out of sponsorships and stuff, and everyone's losing their jobs. People are asking me to help them and stuff. I really feel bad for them. I say a lot of people that are in the space talking sports betting. I'm so lucky I can go back to sports betting. Some of these people, they have to go mop floors. What are they going to do? They can't win betting sports. I mean, it's a bad thing. And I think that's bad for the public too sometimes. There's a lot of bad information out there. You got a lot of talking heads giving you picks, giving you things. They don't even bet. They don't even want to bet. They don't know how to bet, but yet they want to talk about betting. So anyway, all right, I've said enough before I get myself in trouble.
God bless you, Billy. Love you to death. Enjoy Amateur Hour tonight and stay safe, and we'll catch up with you next Monday.
God bless everyone. See you guys.
The one and only Bill Krackomberger. Go follow him at Bill Crackman. When we come back, Terry Smith, the good, the bad, the ugly, as we get ready for, he's got a pretty big game tomorrow. I think tough game too. We'll be right back.
Jared, hey, we're gonna need you to tone it down with the Summer Friday thing, okay?
What are you talking about?
Well, for one, it's not summer anymore.
Oh, really?
Coconut. Also, who is this?
I'm the caddy.
Oh, he's my intern.
Sorry, intern. I'm his intern.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
No golfing in the office, okay? Summer Fridays are over. You can keep the Hawaiian shirt, but the rest of this stuff, all right? Are you grilling?
Oh, yeah. Did you want a burger or a hot dog?
No, grilling in the office.
It's a good point. We should take this outside.
No, that don't. You put that right back down.
Yo, it's all in the hips.
Oh, dude, come on, we gotta go. Let's go.
Well, Mr. Terry Smith and myself go way, way back. We've been great, great friends. The best steaks in the world, the best customer service in the world. And what I really love is our sports talk back and forth, whether it's the Falcons, whether it's the Georgia Bulldogs. And this spring, we'll be talking Atlanta Braves and Boston Red Sox. So without further ado, after a busy, busy holiday season, Mr. Terry Smith.
Hey, Mr. Dawson.
Terry, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. How are you?
Same to you, my friend. I'm very busy. Took a few weeks off there to make sure everybody had their tenderloins and rib roast and gifts taken care of. So I had a very, very blessed season.
Well, we checked in periodically. We knew how busy you were. We knew we'd finally get back. And what a better way to end 2024 than have you here. And as we get ready for the NFL playoffs, the Final Four in college football, and before you know it, the Super Bowl. And then we'll be talking spring training. We'll be talking the Masters. And I was going to send you a text before we start sports talk. I'm seeing something on social media where you could be getting about a foot of snow not too long from now. Is that true?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. It's 65 today. So, we don't want to see any of that stuff. So
All right.
maybe the teachers and people do, so for going back to school. But
I saw this map and it says Atlanta, January 1st to the 8th. Look out for the storm. You could be getting a foot of snow. And I was like, man, I don't want to call Terry and scare him. I'm like, that makes no sense. So probably some clickbait stuff. Let's start with, I'm going to call it the ugly, but it's really not. An Atlanta Falcons season that started out promising. You brought in Kirk Cousins, but you immediately drafted Michael Penix Jr., which Kirk wasn't too happy with. I mean, 36 years old, coming off an Achilles, yada, yada. Started well, kind of faded into the sunset. I've been talking for months with you and anyone that wants to listen that I didn't expect him to be there next year. He'll be starting somewhere else. Michael Penix will be your starting quarterback next September. But a game that I got to go to coaching, not once but twice. Raheem takes the timeouts at halftime to the locker room and blows another 15, 18 seconds when you could have got two more plays, got the kicker in a little closer. He was dead center, just a little short. I would assume Atlanta area sports fans like yourself not happy with the coaching.
everybody's calling for his firing. I know he's new, but there's just no excuse for that. I mean, an 8-year-old would go to call a timeout that knows a little football. And he did it in both halves. Did it first half, second half, and did it last week once. So I just think it's inexcusable. He wasn't my first choice. I don't think he was the people's choice. I know we had a chance to get Belichick. But that goes to the top. And that starts with Mr. Blank. So I put a lot of it on him. So every good company, sports team, whatever, starts with leadership at the top. And he was good for Home Depot, but he's just not good for the Falcons. Great man, he is, but it's just people are upset, and with all the right to be. We should have won that game. Love Jaden Daniels. He's amazing. But I think we have something special with Penix as well. He's going to be amazing. So I think we're in a good spot going forward, even if we don't make the playoffs. But I do think Cousins was hurt. There's just no way from whipping around 500 yards a game with a strong arm just to what we saw the last 2-3 weeks from him. So that's my opinion. I think he's hurt.
Well, it's not, we were shocked. We talked last April about drafting, and, it was right there for an edge rusher. We know you've needed an edge rusher for so long, and you were staring at two of them, and then you shocked the world with Penix Jr. So it's done. It's over with. You bring over Judon. Your defense is good, but it's kind of an easy fix because on the offensive side, Bijan, you got one of the best running backs in the game. You got a young, very accurate quarterback with Michael Penix Jr. You got Drake London. You brought Mooney over. You got supposedly a generational tight end with Kyle Pitts. Well, that's for a whole nother show. If you just stockpiled your picks here on the draft day 1, 2, and 3 on the defensive side, find a couple edge rushers. Terry, you're the favorite next year in that division.
Oh yeah, the defense has played better. Yeah, sort of like your golf game. One day you're driving and you can't hit your wedges, and then the other day you're in the woods and one putting. So that's like our offense and defense has been this year. But we had 5 sacks in one game a couple of weeks ago. He didn't have 5 sacks the whole year. So so it's been a little goofy, but that's nothing unexpected here with Atlanta Falcons over the past 50 years. So I don't see us, unless a miracle happens. I think Tampa Bay will get in. Kudos to them. Baker Mayfield, man, you got to root for him. That whole team, coached well, know how to win. They're getting the job done, and that little 4-game stretch just killed us.
All right, I know it's New Year's Eve, but tomorrow is a big day for you and Dog Nation. A team that you're facing that back in the day, the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs, the Alabama Crimson Tide would just be double-digit favorites over a Notre Dame Irish team. A team that was 28.5-point favorites against Northern Illinois week 2 and lost at home. A team since then that hasn't lost. A team that is very good on both sides of the ball. Carson Beck declares for the NFL. And can you give us at least, let me end with this part of it. Notre Dame opened 1.5-point favorites at the Circa, and immediately the money came in on Georgia. Georgia's 2.5-point favorites. Give us the skinny on your quarterback.
It's going to give us a different dimension of running the football. And, if you don't have a quarterback that could run, you're not with the times. I don't know what's going to happen, but, they may keep the playbook a little simple for him in the beginning, but I say, hey, you have nothing to lose. Let's let him see what he has. We're going to have to run the football. I know the big guy for Notre Dame's out. That may help us, their defensive end. But I'm looking forward to see what our QB can do, Mr. Stockton. I think he's tough, man. He's a Raven County guy, country boy, up there in North Georgia. So you saw that hit he took against I forget the SEC championship. My brain's still fried. Texas, sorry. But in fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see us in Texas in the final. I mean, that's sort of what I'm rooting for. But and I have to question Notre Dame's schedule. They don't play an SEC schedule. They don't play a Big Ten schedule. So that's still questionable to me, and it always has if you're a Notre Dame fan. I'd like to see them get into a conference to see what they really have. But as far as we're concerned, Kirby's going to have them ready. I wouldn't want any other coach right now in the country for a big game like this.
Well, they did open up Notre Dame at Texas A&M. They did win that game, so they have had a little taste of the SEC, of course. But overall thoughts, the Terry Smith, how do you feel going into this game? Is this a game that when the gun goes off, and let's just say you lost, is this one of these games you expect to win and you're getting ready for, 10 days from there to get into the semis?
I don't know if we expect to win it. and just with the quarterback situation, I mean, that's huge. I feel comfortable. I think our defense is going to have to show up. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. We'll be in there at the finish. We'll be in there, but I think we're going to win the football game.
All right.
I like maybe a 20, 24, 21, or 21-17 maybe. That's sort of what I'm looking like.
Low scoring game, Terry.
I don't think
says.
it's going to get in the 30s or 40s. That would shock me. But you never know. So it's not going to be a Miami game the other day where it was 80 points in the first half. So that was entertaining.
And I was talking to Billy Crack about the glorified exhibition games, and we're going to see a bunch of them. Alabama 18-point favorites against Michigan. I was at this game 4 years ago. I took my family to Florida right after Christmas, and my day was to head over there to Alabama and Michigan, and it was a great game. Alabama did win. They did get their team total over. That's what we had that day. So we're excited. But there's a bunch of games, a bunch of exhibition games until the night game tonight. I can't close out 2024 without your Atlanta Braves report. Been very quiet in the free agent market. There's still some guys out there. What are you hearing or seeing, or what's the vibe right now in Bravesville?
It's been, like you said, it's been quiet here. I'm surprised AA hadn't made a move. So we're all just sort of sitting around, just waiting. I hated Bueller got to your Red Sox. Maybe we'll see him sometime this summer, next summer. But and of course we lost Freed. I just want everybody back healthy, and we got to get a 1 or 2 starter in free agent. And just I don't know who it's going to be. Like I said, most of our mind's been with the Falcons and the Bulldogs here, the past few weeks. So I'm sure once the new year hits, we'll take a little closer look at our Braves. But I just want to come back healthy and competing. We get that, we're going to be fine.
Well, I'm going to go to a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, tell the world what you have at atlantasteaksandseafood.com. Be right back.
Yourself a merry little Christmas night. And have yourself a merry little Christmas.
The stage is yours, sir.
Well, if anyone is like me over the past few weeks and have eaten horribly, a lot of sugar, a lot of carbs, appetizers and cakes and whatever, we always start out the new year with, try to get back to a lean and green menu and try to lose that 15 or 20 or 5 or whatever you may need to lose. I know it's 20 for me. But of course, my wife goes out and buys a bunch of junk yesterday, so it's okay. We'll get over it. But we're going to focus on a lot of protein, a lot of greens coming up in the new year. Our little subscription pack is great. You get 4 steaks, 4 chicken, 4 salmon, and 4 burgers. It has a seafood pack and a beef pack as well. Those are always nice to get on a little subscription basis for the new year. And we're going to offer that at 10% off, like I usually do with the code STEAKS10. But I think everybody wants to start feeling a little better and get on a treadmill or start walking and running and hit the gym. I know that's what I'm going to do. But none of it is good for you unless you eat clean. So eating clean for 2025, at least first 60 days or so. But I have a lot of friends that are on the carnivore diet now, and they are just loving it. So I'm going to give that a shot too. So if you want to maybe check out the carnivore diet, we can help you out just as easy as you can please. 2-day ground, and shipping will be easier here after the next few days. once all the people stop their returns, through the mail. So just looking forward to a great 2025, and everybody be safe tonight and have a blessed 2025.
Well, we look forward to bringing you on. The holiday season's over, so again, we'll be bringing you on hopefully every Monday or Tuesday, like we always do. We'll be checking in. We'll be talking, hopefully the journey with the Georgia Bulldogs. We're going to take right through the Super Bowl, of course, and then it's spring training. It's time to talk Braves. It's time to talk Red Sox, and us back east. Like I told everyone, the grill never shuts off. I just add another propane tank, and your steaks, your chops, your lamb. My family's a huge lamb guy. Second to none. The best customer service in the world. Everyone, please head on over to Facebook. Go follow Terry Smith at Terry Smith. While you're there, head on over to AtlantaSteaksandSeafood.com. Place an order, 2-day ground, as he says, from Atlanta, and use the promo code STEAKS10 and
Correct.
get 10% off your whole order. And listen, if you have any questions, reach out to Terry. See, if you use the competitor or the other competitors, you're going to get a robot or someone's going to reply to you 3 days later. You reach out to Terry and say, hey, I'm questioning this, questioning that. I like this. What do you think? Terry's going to be right there to answer you. And I've been working with Terry for years now, and we're going to have so much fun in 2025. It's going to make your head spin. How's that, Terry?
That sounds awesome to me, sir. And I want to say, I think Oregon and Ohio State got the shaft in this thing. I've still been thinking about that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Buckeyes get a little revenge in that game. So, but that was a bad spot for those two guys.
That is, yeah. Oregon, the number 1 seed, gets a week off and then has to run a table against Ohio State, Texas, and then Georgia. Good luck there. So everyone, head on over to AtlantaSteaksandSeafood.com, place an order, reach out to Terry Smith at Facebook at Terry Smith. Again, promo code STEAKS10, get 10% off your full order. I'm looking to do an NHL show. I did put 3 p.m. on the timeline. We're going to bring that in earlier since it is New Year's Eve with Andrew McGinnis. And then tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, we're going to start the new year off with Brady Kannon at Las Vegas Golfer. We're going to talk some NFL and some contests there. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, the one and only Terry Smith in Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. And let me just close with giving some shout outs. There was a lot of people on here live today. Let's just go right from top to bottom here. Shout out to California Wager, Howard Blindman, Amber Hawley, Eric Martin, Mr. Shady himself, and the list is endless. I'd be talking for 25 more minutes. Guys, have a great afternoon, and we will see you soon.
Go Dogs.